on. Okay.
Hello.
We are live.
And welcome to the inaugural episode of Doomsday Bunker with Pearson Reed, broadcasting somewhere from an undisclosed location in the Arizona desert.
Yeah, the Arizona desert. That might be too descriptive of where we are.
They'll never find us.
So, today's initial episode is going to be about the Dogman.
The Michigan Dogman.
Because this is
a big furry boy.
This is a topic that we are relatively familiar with.
Yes, it is our home legend.
Home legend. So it's something that we have a little bit more familiarity with before we actually dive into some alternate things. It seemed like a good place to start.
Yes, a nice little entry point for us. So, man, how do we want to go about doing this?
You gotta tell your history, your tale.
Oh fuck! I didn't prepare for that.
Well, to my understanding, at least, the initial origins or popularity boom of the Michigan Dogman had to do with a song. Let's see. It was the Legend of Dogman song, which gained popularity when disc jockey Steve Cook at WTC-FM recorded a song about the creature and its reported sightings. And this was in the 80s, it looks like. And then after that song aired, some people took it serious. Some people thought that that was like a real thing, and then as well as other people coming forward saying, "Hey,
I've seen it.
I know you just made a song about this, but I've actually seen this stuff before."
Interacted with it.
Yeah, and then diving into Native American tales, they've realized that the Indians of the region have stories and legends of a beast similar to this, kind of giving it that mythical vibe.
Yes.
So,
but it was already mythical. We made it mythical. Anywho. I don't know. Where do we want to go from here?
Well, where did you hear about the Dogman initially, back in the day?
It was this good book right here. Good old Weird Michigan. Checking it out from the public library, combing through its tales of terror, and I found the Dogman entry, and it scared me goddamn shitless. So
you checked it out from the local library, but I'm assuming this isn't the one that you checked out from the library. I'm assuming this is a copy that you personally own at this point.
I might have stolen it from my roommate.
Oh, brilliant. Okay.
I do have a copy, but not here.
Fair enough.
But yeah.
If you want to find that and then discuss any of the findings.
We are exceedingly unprepared for this.
I mean, I set up a cool overlay.
That's true. We have a nice logo, but the rest of it... also, I feel like we should say this right now. If you got questions, if you got footage, man, if you got a Dogman story, you gotta hit us up with that right now, like in the chat.
That's true.
I want to know it. I want to hear it.
If you do have Dogman pics or it ain't real.
Pics, footage, audio, we'll take it all.
Anything. We should probably actually set up at some point like an email so that people can send in whatever. Obviously, we won't be able to show everything that gets put in there because I'm sure some spam will get, find its way.
We'll have to encrypt it all so that way the government doesn't find us.
Yeah, we don't want to find out where we are.
No, not after what we've done. But so it also creeped me out as a kid because I go to Houghton Lake on weekends during the summer, and there was a bunch of Dogman stories about that area, like right where I live, somewhere like right up the street. So I'd be out at night and I'd be like, when's he coming for me?
When's the Dogman coming? So
I had a very real, intense fear of the Dogman all my life.
Oh, it appears that the Cook song was from 1987.
Ba-boom.
So that's where that came from. Thanks Wikipedia for providing your disclosed secrets to us. That's where that came from.
So, should we go over the Gable film? I know we kind of did that last time.
Yeah, but this is officially now. We
official.
can do this officially.
This is
so
our real program.
we can actually do that. And yes, the chat is on. I just don't have room on the screen to show it this time. So, in case you're wondering, we can see what you're saying.
We can see you insulting us.
We can see everything.
We can see you saying nice things about
I also
us as
have
well.
another computer next to me running, so I can have more information plus the chat that I just closed out of.
We got screens all over the Doomsday
We got
bunker.
screens on screens,
Screens
on
on screens on screens on screens
so
on screens.
let me pull up the Gable film in its entirety. I have the full thing. That's
Shit.
not what I wanted.
Are we gonna watch the entire Gable film?
We
here?
can, yeah, we can do that.
We should totally watch the entire Gable film.
That's not an issue. Where did I put it is the real question. I know where I put it.
The YouTube.
I know exactly where I put it.
The YouTube.
I'm really bad at remembering where I put things. Okay, it's right here under this. I made a Word document
Hell yeah.
so that I can go to the Gable film. Open hyperlink, that's what I want.
Stream
Okay.
is working. Well, thank goodness. Wouldn't want the government to shut us down just yet.
Yeah, thank God. Okay, so
Are you ready?
are you ready?
Are you ready?
So this will be the original full 3.5 minutes of the Gable film that we can.
Which we should probably preface this by saying it's like the clearest footage of the alleged Dogman out there.
Yeah.
That I know of anyway.
Yeah.
If you've got something better, send it our way.
Yeah, so this is just gonna play. Obviously, this was recorded on I think it was an 8mm.
Yeah.
An 8mm camera.
What year was it?
Nobody officially knows the correct recording year because there's some conspiracies around it.
Okay.
Monster Quest did an episode specifically about Dogman with the Gable
Yes.
film, and they made some claims that I am not too aligned with, I would say. But I will discuss that more once we get to that point, once we finish this film, because
then like what are we watching now then?
What are we watching?
Explain like the context for this.
The beginning of the Gable film, which is what we're seeing right now, the first conclusive evidence of the Dogman, it starts out as just a random kind of home movie filmed by someone. As we can see, this dude's just straight up derping around on this old school snowmobile, and it kind of just, it's everyday life. This guy was kind of almost just making a home movie. The context isn't necessarily...
Well, I felt like
It's-
it
yeah.
was just worthwhile saying. And then we'll get into how it was found later, I suppose.
Yeah, I do know exactly how it was found now, thank God.
Oh, you do?
I do know
There's
how,
more to
I
it?
do now know how the film was found.
Okay.
So, I think we are about ready to get on the road here.
Split that wood.
Yeah, this guy right here is not the guy that is filming, which that
Makes
means
sense.
something later on.
Man, I don't know if I've seen the whole thing in actual years beyond what you played for me last week.
Yeah,
that is
but-
not the Doge Man.
No, that is
that is not. That is just Doge.
That is Doge.
Make no mistake, the Doge Man will appear.
The main conspiracy around this so far is that it was all staged and filmed to make it look like it happened in the 70s, as opposed to it actually happening in the 70s. But experts have concluded that the way the film has aged and weathered, so to speak, makes it seem like it's not recent and was actually from the 70s. And then there's a conspiracy on what happens later on surrounding this that is kind of interesting to think about. But this is where things start to get interesting. This man is in a car, and you can only see a brief glimpse of his face there in the mirror, and he's kind of like this pasty, short-haired ginger fellow. Kind of like you if you were heavier set. But he sees a creature from the side of the road, and he basically goes to kind of investigate what it is. And he's trying to find it, record it with his camera, because that's what you do. If you're recording, you're driving, and you see something spook, you're gonna check it out. So he's kind of just wandering. Oh, I definitely for sure, even if it means I die. Unbelievable.
And
so
here we go.
here it is.
The Dogman.
The Dogman. It chases him down. And he's running, but he is no match for the speed of whatever this thing is. And it eats his face. And that's where that ends.
The Gable film. Why don't we like let's leave it up, but like on our creature itself.
Let me try to find him again real quick. Oh god, that was really odd. Okay, so
there he is, our boy, our big, beautiful boy.
let's watch this in slow motion and try not to
If we
throw up.
I was gonna say if we can stand it.
Try not to throw up. So the main thing that gets talked about is when it's here and not moving, and when it starts to initially move, it looks like it has a very human form to it, which
I agree with.
which makes people think a lot that it is a person
In a ghillie suit.
in a ghillie
That's
suit.
what I hear.
But this is where the problems arise, is when it actually begins to move and the side leg swings out here. It's going to be hard to see because the film is terrible. It does not bend, the leg does not bend backwards. It bends forwards like a dog leg coming up to its chest, as you can see right here, the bend on the back leg. It's going into its body as opposed to away from its body. And that it moves sideways in a tactical motion with its legs like that, and then as it's running, all four of its legs leap off the ground at the same time. Whereas if you're a human and you're trying to run on all fours like that, try to get all four of your legs off the ground at the same time. It's kind of difficult.
Oh, I just love this so much.
So that's where the evidence points more towards it being non-hoaxed. And then Monster Quest did an entire special on just this film, and
I can't believe I missed that.
you
as
know
a kid.
you know how I feel about Monster Quest.
You're not a fan of Monster Quest.
What they say is they find the man who hoaxed the film, and he explains how he hoaxed it, and he shows off his old trucks and things like that, and he's like, here's the ghillie suit I use, and it's like this big rectangular floppy leaf green ghillie suit. It looks nothing like the one in the film.
Can we find pictures of it? I don't want to play Monster Quest itself.
The only footage that I found of it is footage of a guy recording the footage and then editing the footage in Vegas. So it's kind of literally not a thing that I
So
can
we have
do.
footage of him filming it on a toaster.
Mhm.
Okay.
And okay, what was I going with this? He says that he's the one who
I just want to see that. Monster Quest sucks.
he says he's the one who hoaxed it. This guy is not the guy that is in the car. This man resembles the guy who's chopping the wood with a long
Yes.
brown
Yes.
curly hair. But he's not the pasty ginger guy that's filming. So that's kind of like the, okay, are you sure you're not just some guy who looks kind of like a guy in the film and you say that you want it for publicity?
But I mean, it's also, if we're going to assume the hoax is real, that makes it very convenient, you know? Like, oh, I just got my buddy to film it, and then my redheaded friend who never existed disappeared.
So then there's this big conspiracy around that, basically saying that, you know how I said last week that Monster Quest will never show you any conclusive evidence and go
Yes.
out of their way to falsify things? Either this person was paid by Monster Quest to pretend to falsify the footage for Monster Quest views, or a government conspiracy so that people think the Dogman is fake, so they're not afraid.
Keep it on the DL. Our bunker's secure, but it's not that secure.
So that's the conspiracy on top of that. And it's hard to determine whether or not it's real or hoaxed, because humans can't move that way, and the hoaxing dude is not that legitimate of a guy. But then again, like, it's such an inconclusive footage that, you know, it's hard.
I mean, the footage is so unclear, like it's hard to tell, obviously.
Yeah, it is.
Any of the anatomy of the creature in the first place. But that's what makes it so fantastic. An example of this particular creature.
Right.
I just want to say Jurassic Goji 2018 says that a second Gable film exists as well, depicting the aftermath of the attack.
Right, it's another silent 8mm film. It's a policeman with a tarp over a body that's cut in half with its entrails pulled out. He's holding a sign, I can't remember what the sign says, but then he just lifts up the tarp and there's this really not okay looking body just torn in half under the tarp. And that's essentially the film. And the guy in Monster Quest also claims to have hoaxed that too, and pulls out like this foam body that's ripped in half and like spray painted pink and red on the bottom. It doesn't look like the one in the film.
Can we find that one?
That's also part of that same clip. That's
no,
the recording of the recording. That Gable film in particular. That second part of the Gable film Part 2.
Shit.
We might be able to find that.
Because I've never seen that, and I would be interested in seeing that.
Let me see if I can
Jurassic Goji 2018, if you've got a decent link, you should send that our way. That's okay.
I can spell.
We're working on this here.
Okay.
Oh,
so
is that it? Oh no.
It's a recording of a TV. This is already fucking brilliant.
We'll figure this out, folks.
Who'd have thought that our live stream would be suggested to us? There's got to be a better quality one than this. I assure you that it exists. Gable film Part 3. I don't know about that one.
Dawn of the Day of the Night of the Dogman.
Looks like this is the only one that we're gonna find right now, which is fine.
Can we find screenshots of it if we can't find the thing itself?
I mean, this is the thing itself. It's just poor quality.
Yeah, well.
Believe it or not. Okay, we're doing it. We're doing it.
Alright, we're showing the shitty quality Gable film Part 2.
Okay, so there's the same blue truck as before. Generic old Ford blue truck in extremely low quality.
Oh god, this quality is shameful.
So there's the policeman with the sign.
Is that the real
something to attack?
God, I've never seen this one.
Oh god.
Where was this recorded?
In Satan's basement. Hold on while I bring it up to normal speed.
No,
here.
no, I mean like it was in Michigan.
Yeah, it's in Michigan.
But where?
Who knows? Undisclosed location.
Okay. An undisclosed location somewhere in Michigan.
Yeah, just like where we are now. But
yes.
in
the Arizona
desert.
In the Arizona desert.
So there's the tarp. He's got more signs, which you can't read. Get a whiteboard.
I read all the time.
So here's the thing, which is the guy from the other film, which has long black hair, so it's not the ginger guy from the first film. So wrap your head around that one.
I mean, the obvious conclusion is that they're two different. They were made separately.
Exactly.
From each other.
Exactly. So there's.
I wish we get a view of the angle of the original footage. Is the thing.
The view of the angle of the original.
I want to see that. Okay, when the camera's pointing at the Dogman, I want to see that angle in this footage. Is what I'm saying, so we can see the landscape of it.
Right, not just look. This is in a forest, and the first one also happened to be in a forest, so. It must be the same forest.
It must be. Alright, so that's the most famous footage of the Dogman.
The most famous footage.
Now, I know we have the 911 call, too.
We do.
Do you want to jump to that, or do you have more footage?
Let me review the foot that I have here.
The foot? You have a severed foot.
I do.
From a Dogman attack.
The clearest images. We'll do the phone call next.
Okay.
That sounds fair.
Are you going to play the audio and everything? The whole shebang for our viewers?
Yeah.
Can I make a suggestion?
Okay.
We need to silence our mic when you do it this time. Because you didn't last time and I listened to it back and it sounded like trash.
I have the desktop audio cranked way up.
No. Okay, fine. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Hit it.
Hit it.
Hit it.
Hold on, let me play it.
Sir, emergency. This is Kyle speaking. How can I help you? Hello?
Something just ran in front of us on the road. We're in the ditch. We rolled over.
How many people are in the car, and is anyone injured?
There's two of us. I don't think we have any injuries.
Is the car on its top or wheels or what?
No, it's kind of sitting on its side.
Hold one moment, please, while I contact emergency services.
Okay. Standing up.
Was it a bear, maybe?
Maybe. Oh my God.
Sir? Hello? Are you still there? Sir?
He's persistent. So that was Troy, Michigan? If I remember correctly?
Somewhere up there.
Supposedly Troy, Michigan?
Somewhere up there.
There's apparently footage of the vehicle they were calling from.
Yep.
Post-attack. We have not been able to track that down.
I have not, no, not since the original viewing of that many years ago have I been able to find that.
No.
That's one of the things I did search for today, and it's just not something that I found, and it's kind of saddening. So.
See, that was something I was wondering about. Should we dig into some creepy forums with some weirdos? Find our shit.
Like right now?
I don't know.
Or for future?
I mean, it could be both.
At the same
If we
time.
become desperate. Anyway, so that's that. If any of you know where to find that goddamn footage, send that address.
Of the mangled and destroyed vehicle mobile.
Please, we'd love to see it.
So, that was that. That was the phone call, and that is a confirmed real phone call. So, pristine quality on that one. Let me see what other fantastic information I have here. So, I have a video snippet of the clearest Dogman pictures of all time. But not necessarily. They're some pretty good ones though.
Okay.
I have the actual downloaded images of the most famous ones that we can go over. Once I remember how to open hyperlinks. Hold on.
I'm so into this.
Okay,
Ooh,
so
ooh. I've seen this.
have you?
I think so. I think I've seen some of these anyway.
Now there's
Looks familiar.
there's no real information on any of these pictures. It's kind of just like a conglomeration, whereas the ones I have later on there is actually like stories behind them, and I can explain those stories.
I feel like we should probably address that one. Yeah, we can see you. We just don't have the chat on screen this time. That's all.
Yeah, trust me. We're looking at the
we
see the chat.
We're just talking about Dogman.
This
right
is
now.
more so podcast style, where we can see what the people are talking about live, whereas the last one was literally just a live stream where we were talking.
But don't worry, we're getting to you folks.
Yeah,
We're getting there.
we will consult.
This is just the informational segment.
Yeah, this is just the thing.
Also, we're learning the structure of this as
Right,
we go along.
right.
So
This is the first
we'll work this
episode.
out.
There's no need to freak out. Episode 1.
Not yet.
All will be resolved in the future.
Eventually.
So
Anyway, Dogman
we'll get back
pictures.
to these pictures now, where this one is obviously just a wolf hiding.
Was
this
it a
one,
wolf?
This one looks.
This one's creepy.
This one's very skinny. It looks very gremlin-like.
I was gonna
So
say, it looks like a bat.
that one's hard to
Batman.
really discern anything from.
That looks like a angry crocodile.
Well, this is
Komodo
like the
dragon.
face and eyes. These
I'll
are the
see,
ears up here.
I can
It's in
see
a
it
window
better
glint.
on our screen.
It's in a window glint. This
That's
was
a
weird.
bear.
Yeah, that one does look like a bear. But it also is very, very hairy on top. Very long-haired bear. Like Afro bear.
Afro bear. What?
It's kind of like hunched over. It looks like a mangled cow more than a Dogman, so.
It does. Oh, yeah, that's my shit.
This
It's going
one's like
sledding.
I think he's perching on wood. He's not sledding.
It can be both.
It
I
looks
like
it looks like he's going sledding though, which is
Man,
fantastic.
I wish we had the stories for these. Okay,
Yeah.
that could be my dog in my backyard.
Literally anything at all.
God damn it.
So that one's not the most fantastic image either.
I don't know. I think it's pretty great. I'm into all these. Aww.
So that was that. That was that. But now we can go into the ones that I actually have downloaded and have the stories for.
No, Travis, that's not my D&D character. Don't out me as a nerd now, Travis.
I spelled dog wrong.
So we've got some god snips for you. What are these?
I spelled dog wrong.
What's the Chelsea Tracks one?
Do you want to start with the Chelsea tracks?
I don't know, do I?
Okay, we can start.
I don't know what this is.
We can start with the Chelsea tracks.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Okay.
Okay, you need to tell me everything about this one, because that's rad.
Okay, hold on. So
Look at that shit.
this is
Look at that shit.
this is from Chelsea, Michigan, northern area.
Yes.
Not necessarily the UP.
No, but it's north.
Closer to Houghton Lake,
Yes.
from where you were discussing earlier.
Yes. Holy fuck.
Some young gentlemen went camping,
Okay.
and they were hearing snarling and growling in the woods at night. Nothing really super threatening, just
Okay.
wilderness
It
noises.
was there.
But it was in the morning that they set out and they discovered these tracks. Probably from whatever was making the sounds at night. And this is clearly a very canine track. It's also clearly not a wooden stamp in the ground because it has rounded and defined areas.
Yeah.
It looks like a very realistic track. And obviously this is a full-grown man's hand. The experts in the community have assumed the track to be around 7 inches in length. And a four-legged animal in that region generally weighs 250 or more pounds. So, whatever made these prints in northern Michigan is a large mammal of unknown origin, because there's no mammals that large up there. So, that's the story behind the Chelsea tracks.
I'm into that.
So that's some weird stuff.
I'm all about this.
That's some weird stuff right there. Now, let me get the next one up here. We will do the picture of the Beast of Seven Shoots.
What?
So,
That's some anime shit.
this was a picture taken by a construction worker who was in the area of Seven Shoots, which is closer to Canada. If I'm not mistaken, it's directly like on the border / inside of Canada. And he was doing some sightseeing when he was off project. This is the only picture of his that I actually saved, but there is a significant number of these images.
Wait, I feel like you should highlight what you should be looking for there.
Can I draw on this?
Well, I was gonna say at least circle it with the mouse or something.
My mouse doesn't show up.
Whoops-a-daisy. Hit that boy right there in the trees.
This thing is hiding.
That anime lad.
He took the picture just as a sightseer. He has a bunch of other pictures of the waterfalls and stuff from this area, with just an old school digital camera. This was like 2002, and he didn't see this thing until he got home and was basically reviewing the photos. And this has been expertly analyzed. I only picked the ones that were expertly analyzed and were confirmed to not have any digital editing or were not light tricks. This is an actual solid object hiding there, and a lot of people say it looks more like a Sasquatch, but it does have that that elongated snout coming out of the front of it. And this is an area associated with Dogman sightings, so it was more labeled as a dog cryptid as opposed to a monkey one.
Oh, that's so fucking.
So
I don't like it.
there's that. That's pretty weird, am I right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not about that.
move on here to this is a Polaroid.
Oh hell yeah, this is supremely my shit.
A very old Polaroid.
Do you have like a general date for it?
No.
Okay.
I don't actually.
We have no citations.
I
for
have
the record.
I have the story of this one.
Yeah.
And it was a woman who was a deer watcher of the area,
Hell yeah.
and she went into
Yeah,
this.
do you know the area?
Northern Michigan. She went into the area. She was following a pack of deer going packs, herd of deer.
A gaggle.
Yeah,
Of deer.
and they migrated from basically the area that is the right side of the screen to the area that is the left side, that open area, and this thing followed them out of the woods. It was originally on all fours, stalking them, and she's just like, "Oh, there's a large dog
yeah.
stalking these deer." That's the thing that happens.
That makes sense.
And then it stood up on its hind legs and watched them for about 2 minutes. And this is when she took the picture with her Polaroid camera she had. Now, wolves will stand on their hind legs to scout out prey for seconds before they lose balance and fall down.
This one posed.
This one stand there, according to her, for 2 minutes and watched the deer. And once the deer noticed this thing, they fled, and this creature returned to where it came from.
So I take it this was after the deer had fled.
Well, since we can't see any deer, probably.
Well, I just wanted to make sure.
And then this was obviously taken on a Polaroid camera, which is hard to do anything to falsify an image for. Photo analysts analyzed it, and there's no airbrushing and there's no overlay.
How did... never mind. I was gonna debate the validity of this on the basis that it is not structured as most Polaroids are, but I don't know
What do you mean, structured?
I mean, if I'm not, I think they're vertically oriented as opposed to horizontally.
This picture is rotated to make it clear to see.
Okay.
And then my snip is also in a 1080 by 1920 format to fit the screen appropriately.
That's fair. Okay. All right.
So do not use those factors as a possible deterrent. Those are things influenced by me.
All right.
I'm not
What do
trying
you
to
say?
hoax this picture.
Oh, believe me, I'm not accusing you.
So, I think I have one more. I do have one more. That's not what I want. I wanted my god snips. This is the Beast of Onaway.
I'm all about this.
And there is a decent story behind this as well.
Oh my goodness, I'm a big furry boy.
So the Beast of Onaway, this story is that this is at a family cabin in Onaway, Michigan, and it's hunting season. They had just went out. They got 2 deer for the season, and they brought them back to their area, and they gutted them and they left the entrails out by the shed area of this little complex that they had.
Yes.
And they had the rest of everything that they needed essentially near the house area, and they were packing it all in a van to leave for the night.
Yes.
When this appeared, messing with the entrails. And this picture is taken from the inside of the van. That's why that liner is at the bottom. That's part of the van. And it was when they were leaving, and it is illuminated by the car lights. And whatever it is standing on its hind legs behind some object that's hard to see. It looks like a stump.
The entrails.
The entrance hiding behind a mountain of entrails.
Jurassic Goji 2018 says this is a bear, probably.
It's very canine looking.
I don't know.
Not very much bear-like looking.
I don't know where Onaway is, so I can't say. you know, where the fuck bears would be at in relation to this. But if we're going for possible logical non-Dogman explanations, sure, it could be a bear. But do I want it to be a bear? No. I want this to be my big furry boy. Pierce is looking for Onaway right now. Oh, Jeebus!
There's not a bear region.
I mean, bears can end up in that area.
They can, but it's not a bear region.
We've had bears in our neck of the woods in the Arizona,
in my backyard.
In the Arizona desert. Yeah,
in my backyard.
In my backyard?
In the Arizona desert.
In the Arizona desert.
Mm-hmm.
But,
right by Black Lake, huh?
I don't know. So, this is what we have.
This was the most controversial picture of the assortment that was expertly analyzed.
Why?
One of the people essentially said that it was fuzzy around the edges and this white line in the bottom was suspicious.
Why is it suspicious?
Because it looks out of place for a photograph from a moving vehicle with a flashing light.
That's fair. See, that was my issue when you said it was illuminated by the car's headlights. Because this does not look like the view you'd get from headlights on a vehicle. Because presumably that's taken out a passenger side window, driver side window.
But the flash from the camera also adds the lighting effect.
Okay.
The other expert that wanted to argue the opposite side of the case said that the shades of lighting in the different regions of the animal in the picture, they are stacked in a way that makes sense for the camera flash to be reflecting off of it, and not just a lighting of something that was superimposed into a photo.
Okay. Right.
Making it look more realistic. So there's two sides.
All right.
So that one's the more controversial of the photos.
I see that, but it's also probably the clearest image that we've got beyond the Ookum Spookum Polaroid that I don't quite buy.
I think the Polaroid was the most believable by the expert standards.
I don't know. I just look, man. This one gets me in my heart and soul here.
So that's the situation with the famous photographs I have.
I'm just checking the chat.
You wanna look? Here, let me pull it up on here for you.
Pull it up on the screen. Oh. Thank you, Jurassic Goat 2018. We are talking about cryptids, not your mom. Shoe. Found my long lost dog, Lassie. Alright, Pierce. I think we should lay it all on the line right now. Do you believe the Dogman's out there?
Do I believe the Dogman's out there?
Dogman's out there, Pierce?
I want to believe the Dogman is out there. I could sway myself into believing that there is a large unknown canine roaming the wilderness of the northern lower peninsula and upper peninsula, which is very uninhabited. If any of you ever make your way up there, bring jerry cans of gas, because you'll probably run out of gas before you find a gas station. That's how...
I don't know if that's 100% true.
Personal experience.
Okay.
I have some family members of the rich variety that decided that they wanted to live up there.
Yeah, how'd it go?
Well, they live up there sometimes because it's uninhabitable.
Did the Dogman eat them?
Not yet, no.
Not yet. Alright.
So, the real question is, where did the Dogman come from?
Michigan.
Has it always been here? Or was it created?
Oh fuck. Okay. So are you insinuating a government conspiracy to make human-animal hybrids?
That could very well be the case.
I don't know if I'm gonna go with you to that place, man.
It's always a possibility.
It is a possibility, but I don't know, there's just something more compelling about the fact that nature created it for itself.
It's always a thing that we could do here. Talk about it as a nature.
Alright, you go down this rabbit hole.
Or we could talk about it as a government conspiracy.
Alex is Gaming 17 believes in the Dogman.
Hell yeah. So, there is a general theory that a lot of the more humanoid cryptids could more or less be government experiments.
Okay.
Half of that animal that is discernible and half human.
Yeah.
Obviously, there is a lot of cryptids with legends that go way past modern science, but that doesn't mean that modern science couldn't have replicated legends based on myth. How do you feel about that?
I don't buy it.
You don't buy it?
No. I'm with the paleontologist here. It could be an undiscovered species of wolf.
It could be.
I think I like the distant relative of Scooby-Doo. Yeah, I like the idea that it is some weird bear, dog, wolf thing roaming the woods. It's only been there in low numbers, keeping to itself until we infringe on its territory, and it asserts its dominance over us as a species. Also, we're just not smart enough to create some weird monster thing, as far as I'm concerned.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Could have been accidental.
That's fair.
Everything
has truth behind it.
I have a phone call that is recorded that I think is kind of an interesting listen. That corner of my room. There should be a half-buried thing. Grab me one. So I will bring up this phone call of. I don't care. Is there only two?
No.
Okay.
I just grabbed.
Then just give it on. So this is a man that has talked to locals with continued Dogman sightings.
Mm-hmm.
So I will play this audio, and we can give this a listen here. I want to actually get into. It's gonna be the guy that he's on the phone with talking for a minute, so be prepared for that.
Hi everyone, I have Mark on the line, and he's been talking to a friend of his about paranormal things, and he's got a paranormal story that he wants to share with us. And it's about, I guess, the Dogman. Please bring that to us, Mark.
Coming through, we'll just have to wait. Hold on.
We're having technical difficulties. Please stand by.
So I'm just kind of waiting now.
Can you hear us? So you can hear our mic.
The audio. The audio.
Can you hear us? We need to know if you can hear us. Alright, play the video and see if they can hear that.
Well, they'll be able to hear it through one of the sources at least, because I'll just boost both of these.
And so far,
We'll go back to
one
this.
person seen Bigfoot, and one person that's seen Dogman, and a couple of people have known people have seen Bigfoot. But anyhow, the story about Dogman I just want to tell was I talked to this lady recently. I met on the phone through a friend, and she had lived down in Tennessee. And since I knew him, she was willing to talk to me and not be shy about telling me the story. She told me the story about when she lived down in Tennessee, how they had a small farm and had animals on there, and the cages they had to be all torn up. Of course, the animals would be missing, and at one point after her husband's funeral, she came back. The deer that they adopted had gotten torn up by some animal, the belly eaten out, and the sides eaten out. She said it wasn't nothing normal. But what she told me also was that her grandfather told her about this thing, and he had bars on his windows inside his home, and she didn't give it any thought because she thought, well, he's old, you know. So one night she was the dog was really carrying on, and she opened the door and it came inside, sliding door. I think it was a sliding glass door, and she tried to get it back out, and it almost better. She said, "What in the world is wrong?" So she got a spotlight out, and she shined the spotlight in the woods. The woods probably was less than 50 yards away. But what she saw was around 50, 60 yards, maybe 40 yards away. She said she saw these very red-looking eyes, something really red like she'd never seen before. And she said if she didn't have a spotlight, she never would have been able to see it. But she said as soon as she pointed at it, ducked its head, she could see the red eyes. It eventually ran away, but she said she saw a long nose. She said the front legs were way bigger than the rear legs, and it ran like the creature. If you've seen Ghostbusters, Rick Moranis was chased by some kind of gargoyle or something, whatever it was. She said it ran like that. She said it ran very quickly, and here's the thing that of interest. She'd worked for National Geographic, and she'd been close to wolves. She said close enough they could have ate her. She said this thing was no wolf. He was way larger than a wolf. It moved very quickly. It was very large, and she eventually moved out of there. What happened is her husband died. She had to have a funeral down there, and she had to come back and find a way to have a funeral because he came up this way. She got back. That's when the deer she had had been attacked and partially ate up. Anyhow, she moved out of there, but she also said one night she saw a shadow and she smelled this really bad, strong odor. She said worse than a skunk or worse than a dead person. Just really bad. She realized that was it. That was that thing. But what I thought was interesting is the fact that she had been a photographer for National Geographic. She said this was no wolf. I've seen wolf. This is no wolf. And she moved out of there. That was a story I wanted to tell you, and I just thought I'd share with everybody else. Apparently, these things have been genetically engineered, so I know it sounds like a wild story, but if you listen to these people talk, they're very serious. I thought this thing was basically down south, maybe Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee. Then I kept listening to stories that kept getting closer to Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, then Maryland, and then like one of the last stories I listened to by Brenton Solway was a story that was after 911. Just after 911, this county cop got a call to go out because there's some scratching on the door of this man's trailer. He wanted to come out. When he went out there, he got a shotgun. He said, probably just there. And what he described he saw was walking on two legs, about 8 foot tall, huge. He described it looking like a very, very large wolf or an animal. Walked on two legs. He wasn't a bit concerned about him at all. He said when he got back in his car how he felt sick and how horrified he was and how rattled he was, how nervous he was. He said, here it is all these years later, I'm still getting nervous talking about this thing. So I just thought I'd share that story because it's interesting, and also, you know, I don't know how many of these things are out here, how many they genetically engineer, if that's what happened. I guess it is, but they've been hearing about it for a long time. People are starting to talk about them. You go out camping, I definitely take some protection with you. And this is no joke. This is something I actually heard. So,
Great.
That's that.
Where was it?
These are actually that report is from southern states, like Louisiana. So it's not specifically.
It's not
specifically a Michigan Dogman. It's a worldwide Dogman.
It's a nation dog. It's a nationwide dog.
Dogman worldwide.
It's the pit bull of Dogman.
Yeah, actually, so one of the things that's being brought up a lot in the comment section right now is how do eyes reflect red, and anything that actually has a blue pigmented eye that has reflective properties actually reflects back red light. And one of the things that is understood about the appearance of Dogman is he actually has blue eyes. So that would explain the red reflective properties. I wanted to wait till that was done to actually discuss that, but that is something that is known about the appearance of Dogman, is that allegedly at least some have blue eyes, so the reflections would be red because of that. I have personal experience because, as you know, my dog has blue eyes, but whenever light is reflected back out of her eyes, it's red. It's 100% red. It's creepy as hell at night because you're waiting for the dog to come in and there's a pair of red eyes running at you and you're like, whoa, okay, all right. So that's confirmed. Like, personal experience confirmed. Canine blue eyes reflect red.
I'm so into this.
Are you? I don't know if there was anything else that I had. No, that was all of the content that I found to go over.
Bullshit.
But definitely some spooky stuff has been discussed. I guess we'll talk about some stuff from the chat here.
I was gonna say, you want to just go off on tangents?
Go off on tangents, stuff that we find in the chat here.
Or just whatever pops into our brains.
About the Dogman?
I don't know, generally speaking.
This is about the Dogman.
Okay, fine. Let's take the Dogman.
That's what this is about.
That's true. Okay.
So, I guess
you tribute some of the legendary Blue Eyes Dogman. You don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want that to happen to you. You don't want the Dogman up in your biz.
I wish that this was something that I actually had personal experience to talk about.
What, that you had a sighting?
A sighting, yeah. Because there are other things that we're going to talk about in the future that I actually do have personal experience with.
Yes.
So,
same kind of.
So I want to save that stuff for those topics. But this is nothing that is ever... I've never seen anything.
Me either.
Which is... It's unfortunate being something that is so relatable to us.
Yeah.
More so than...
It's our home state monster.
Right.
So...
Probably has something to do with the fact these are all mostly northern incidents in the more rural areas.
Yeah.
And it's...
I lost the thought.
You better find it.
I'm bad at that.
You're bad at thoughting?
Yes. Ghost of Civil War soldiers. Oh, in Gettysburg. I thought you were suggesting the Dogman was the ghost of Civil War soldiers, which is an insane theory that I need you to back up right the fuck now.
What if it is?
Favorite cryptid?
Dogman.
Really?
I like Dogman.
I think I'm personally a Bigfoot guy. I'm a purist.
Yeah? Do you think there's a connection between Dogman and Bigfoot?
I I think sightings for one can actually be a sighting of the other.
As we see in one of the previous pictures, they can look very similar in pictures.
Yeah, and I mean, look, Michigan is also Bigfoot territory. Like, it's not the prime Bigfoot territory, but there have been Bigfoot sightings throughout the state.
Absolutely, there have been. A lot of them are actually southern focused, though.
Yeah,
Closer to Ohio.
Southern or yes, or the western United States, generally speaking.
So do you think that at some point there is a clear division in Michigan where Bigfoot territory ends and Dogman territory begins?
So have they segregated the state?
Do you think there's ever been a turf war between Dogman species and Bigfoot species?
I hope so.
Maybe not in recent times, but maybe like
Ancient times. The ancient Bigfoot Dogman. You know, I wouldn't be surprised. And I like that idea, because, well, I mean, does it have to be a war? As much as I would like it to be a war.
Not necessarily a war, but like a territory skirmish.
Like, what makes the Dogman specifically suited to living in Michigan?
Nothing specific, considering there are sightings of Dogman and Wolfman-like creatures throughout the United States. It's just that Michigan has a higher frequency of sightings.
Okay, but like why? Because that would imply that there is a higher population in the state. So why here?
Well, it's northern focused.
Yeah.
And a lot of northern Michigan is uninhabited and undisturbed. So that lays out a very, very large section of land where human interaction necessarily doesn't happen. So it's where these creatures could be and not be disturbed at all.
But I mean, like, what biologically makes them more suited to Michigan than other states? Because, like, obviously we just heard a southern sighting.
There's probably nothing biological about them that is specifically suited for the environment. Sure, large-haired creatures do better in cold states, and Michigan is a cold state. I wonder if there is visual differences between northern dogmen and southern dogmen, like long and short-haired variants.
Yeah, because they say that there's like differences in the Bigfoot sightings across the nation.
Different regions have different big feet.
Have different big feet. So, do the southern and northern states have different dogmen too? I've heard from Jurassic Goji 2018. I haven't read this all the way through, but I'm already intrigued. I've heard that a boy back in the 1600s was behaving like a werewolf. He believed he was a werewolf, and people convicted him of satanic possession and was locked up for life. I want your source on that, because I feel like that's more grounds for execution. And also, this brings up something important.
What? Werewolves?
Yes. Are we ever just going to go out and full on say that maybe it's a werewolf? Or are we going to assume that the Dogman is an entirely independent creature?
Well, it could be either or.
Yeah, but the issue of werewolves is a lot deeper than the issue of dogmen.
What if there never actually were werewolves? There were just dogmen running around, and people assumed that there was transformations happening. Or what if there are no dogmen and there are only werewolves?
Yeah, that's more what I'm saying. Is it one or the other? Is it both? Because I didn't consider that until we got in our booth here in our bunker.
What if the origins of werewolves are from
Dogmen.
Human dogmen interbreeding?
Stop! You stop that. Stop. Put it back.
It's something that we
put the thought back.
It's something that we need to discuss.
Put the thought back.
I can't. It's out there.
God damn it.
It's out there from this undisclosed location. It's out there.
Okay. So now we're no. Okay. Let's talk about werewolf lore here.
Okay.
Full moons, transformations.
Okay.
That has nothing to do with breeding.
Here's the thing, though. What's scientifically verifiable about werewolves? Nothing.
What's scientifically verifiable about dogmen?
Nothing.
Nothing. Oh, fuck, you got me. Alright, I refuse. I refuse. The Dogman can be a subspecies of werewolf. Stop. Oh, God. Okay. Alright.
Is there cases of werewolves transforming and never transforming back?
Never? Never transforming back?
Like they cannot revert to their human forms.
See, I was listening to some stuff about this recently. No, there's like a Norse myth, that's like a variation of a werewolf legend about, and I'm gonna fuck up all the names of the gods, so yeah, I'm just gonna leave them out. So there's like a father and son, and they come across, they end up with these like pelts, these wolf pelts, and when they put them on, they become wolfman creatures, and they can hunt like that with humans for X amount of time, and then they revert back to their normal state, human state, for like a limited period of time, and then they can put them back on and they can go again. The thing was that like if they went, if they attacked the humans they were hunting with, I think they would be stuck like that forever, something to that effect.
Okay.
Anyway, so if I remember right, one of them did turn on the humans they were hunting with, and then got stuck like that, and then the other one burned the pelt, so that way
that situation wouldn't happen again.
Yeah. So there's that. That's the one that I've heard of recently.
Okay.
Now, here the other thing is, I've heard stories of like vampires chasing the night, like literally hopping regions, so that way it's always night wherever they are.
That's
which
insane.
is goddamn buck wild.
That's insane. That's absolutely. They would have to do intercontinental flights.
Yes, which would conceivably be easier if you're a vampire.
Because you could fly.
Yes. But that's assuming a couple things. One, a lot about vampire lore. Two, that the werewolf transformations are nightly, and there are some variations of that where it is nightly as opposed to once a lunar cycle. Yeah, or a full moon specifically. So I don't know. Werewolves are shapeshifters. Native Americans interpreted them as shapeshifters. See, but then we're getting into the issue of like different native tribes and how they what their, I can't think of the words I want to use, what their specific cultures said about specific things, and goddamn, we don't know enough about that to say.
Right.
We're sticking to the full-blooded weirdo shit.
Yeah.
Here.
What we know is that the Native Americans from Michigan do have stories of interactions with large bipedal canine creatures.
I can't speak to that beyond what I've read in weird Dogman shit that I don't necessarily trust. But I will say, from experience reading various stories from various Native American tribes across this great nation of ours, there are a lot of stories about shapeshifters.
Right.
And they are, it's often like something that you don't fuck with.
Right.
Which I think is the important thing, because that seems to have what's carried over into stories about the Dogman and werewolves.
Yes.
It's, you don't fuck with it. You fucked with something big that's bigger than you.
On that same topic, nearly every common cryptid has silence phone, has a Native American origin, which claims that that cryptid, if there is a Native American origin for it, is always a shapeshifter. There is a, basically everything is a shapeshifter, which is kind of like a almost like blanket excuse for everything, because it's prevalent for the Dogman, it's prevalent in Bigfoot Native American mythology, it's prevalent in Lizardman mythology, which is indigenous to Arizona, if you did not know that, so watch your back. So it's there for so many things. So that's a common reoccurring theme in Native American legends, is shapeshifters taking on Dogmen, Sasquatch, and Lizardmen shapes.
I don't want to speak to that until I've read them.
So it's...
Because that's culturally sensitive.
Right, it is.
That I don't want to dive into just yet. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what we've answered here. If we've answered anything so far.
We've discussed the Dogman, that's for sure.
Yeah.
For 4 hours, 9 minutes, and 46 seconds.
We've been at it a while, folks.
I don't even know how long it's actually been at this point.
Started streaming 1 hour ago.
We did?
That's what it says on the thing.
Oh, boop. It does say that.
Let's not touch on that.
I thought some stuff about that today. I thought that might be interesting.
Okay, like from my experience,
We don't need to talk about it right now.
I was gonna say that's a term you don't use if you're not a part of the culture, and also generally something that you don't talk about. When I say you don't fuck with it, I mean like you don't fuck with it.
So we could refer to it by different names.
I don't know. I don't know enough about it. Like, you guys in the comment section are talking about something really specific right now, and I think in some parts it's considered a slur. But that's all I was saying earlier when, like, you don't...
As
you
long
don't
as it's
fuck with
specifically
it.
clear that the way we're discussing it is as the cryptid or paranormal scheme, to not get it twisted with anything else, there shouldn't
I don't know.
necessarily be an issue.
See, this is what I was worried about, because I don't want to conflate the cryptid stuff with actual Native American indigenous cultures' beliefs. That's my thing.
But here's the situation with that is that a lot of that stuff is potentially intertwined, so it's hard to separate it.
Yeah, but I think, like, I'm not against talking about it, but at this point we're talking out of our asses about it, and I think we've both done our research on shady sites in Wikipedia, and in these books that are like weirdly researched. So I don't know how much I want to get into Native American culture, assuming we know what we're talking about.
Right.
Just yet.
Right. That's something that we can do in the future. That's not a problem.
Yeah. I don't know if the Beast of Bray Road is... Because that's the Midwest, isn't it?
I've heard of the Beast of Bray Road. I have heard of that.
I don't know a ton about it. I think it's actually in this book, though. Here's quick, entertain them while I look up the Beast of Bray Road in this book.
I am Googling as well.
Oh, that's another thing. There was werewolf sightings in Detroit. That's probably worth mentioning.
Well, I can tell you that it was a movie in 2005.
Yes, I know that much.
It
We did our research, guys. Don't worry.
is a cryptozoological creature first reported in 1936 on a rural road outside of Elkhorn, Wisconsin. So this is Wisconsin. So this is our territory still, because the Michigan Dogman is known to migrate into Wisconsin, being land connected through the UP.
Let's dive in.
Okay.
Let's do it. Alright, so I think we've opened this up now to Dogman and associated creatures.
That's why I didn't label it as specifically as
the Michigan
Dogman,
Okay.
because I knew that this topic was already wide branching. So apparently the Beast of Bray Road is described by purported witnesses in several ways: as a bear-like creature, as a hairy bipedal resembling Bigfoot, unusually large, 2 to 4 feet tall on all fours or 7 feet while standing, or an intelligent wolf-like creature apt to walk on its hind legs and ranging between 400 and 700 pounds. It also said that his fur is a brown/gray color, resembling a dog or a bear.
Can I jump in really quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Not about the Beast of Bray Road, but Shelby Saffer brought up something cool in the comments section. As far as Ojibwe culture is concerned, you can discuss their spiritual beings or cryptids as long as there is snow on the ground.
There is snow on the ground.
And here in Arizona, there's snow on the ground. But I want to say this, because I know Shelby knows what she's talking about. Shelby, if you've got info, send it to us like ASAP. Please, God, send it to us.
That would be very helpful. Is this someone? Is this someone you know in real?
Yeah, this is someone I personally know.
Welcome. Thank you for potentially providing information.
If you've got stuff, send it along. If you don't, that's cool. That's cool. But if you got it, send it. All right, Beast of Bray Road. Let's do this.
Beast of Bray Road. You know what we should do is we get the information that we can about specific things, not about anything in particular.
Before we do it?
Before we do it. Maybe we could get interviews of people that may or may not have had experiences with things. Depending on if we can find people in local regions that have experiences that aren't going to, like, stab us.
Yeah. Look, that's why we need to jump on ghosts and shit soon, because you've got a lot of ghost shit.
We've got ghost and alien shit.
I didn't know you had alien shit, so we need to do the alien shit. Thank you, Shelby. You are looking around. I appreciate that.
That encounter.
That encounter.
I've had an encounter.
Save it.
It's also one of the most haunting memories of my entire life.
Save it.
I get nauseous at thinking about it at night, so that'll be a fun episode that I will be having a panic attack during. So.
Fuck. God damn.
I will be having a panic attack during that one, so just be prepared.
Holy shit! What?
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
I might not be able to sleep at night now that I'm like thinking about it. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, let's
so
talk about cuddly dogs.
Cuddly Dogman that only will kill me physically and not mentally and then physically.
Yes.
Yeah. Sounds much more pleasant.
Okay, dogs.
Okay. So there is an explanations tab here. So let me read through this really quick. A number of animal-based theories have been proposed. They include the creature is an undiscovered variety of wild dog, a wihala, said to be a giant prehistoric wolf similar to Amarok, or a wolf dog, or a koi dog.
Wihala, you said?
Wihala.
Wihala.
W-A-H-E-E-L-A.
Where is that?
Right here.
Wahila.
Wahila? Is that how you say that?
Yeah,
Are you the
so.
expert?
No, but it's in this book. I know
Okay.
that much.
It is possible that hoaxes and mass hysteria, wow, I can talk, have caused some falsehoods and sightings of normal creatures to be artificially lumped under the same label. Concurrently with the sightings in Wisconsin, there is a rash of similar encounters in the neighboring state of Michigan. Following the release of The Legend, a popular song about the Michigan Dogman in 1987, author Steve Cook recognized dozens of reports including photograph and film evidence of the creature. There is no known link between the adjoining states other than the similarity of the creature described. So as I was saying before, the land bridge of the UP between the Lower Peninsula and Wisconsin kind of engulfs the Dogman territory.
True. Man.
Is this the thing in Canada that bites people's head off?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh! Here we go. Yeah.
You know what? Like, credit where credit's due, because I think I'm going to read some of this out loud right now. It's by Linda S. Godfrey. She wrote a ton of these books. She's still going to this day, as far as I know. It's Buck Wild. Okay. So, branching off from the Beast of Bray Road and going into the Wahila, the territory in Canada, there is a magnificent river valley called the Nahanni, but natives of the area know it as Headless Valley.
Yep.
According to legend and to records of the mounted police, many campers and prospectors who have had the temerity to camp there have been found in their sleeping bags or even inside camping shacks with their heads bitten clean off their bodies. It would take a huge animal with massive jaws to perform this trick, and there has always been much speculation as to which monster might be responsible. The late researcher Yvonne Sanderson, though, guessed the nasty head snarfer might have been a legendary carnivore called the Wahila. And according to his research, the animal was also found in Michigan.
It all comes together.
It all comes together. So what I think we're looking at here now is separate, like, species of Dogman.
There definitely could be.
The Dogman's the umbrella of under which the Beast of Bray Road and the Wahila and everything.
And the more indigenous, specific Michigan Dogman.
Yes.
Is not the Dogman, but is a member of the family. So the other explanation for this was the Amarok, which is a gigantic wolf in Inuit mythology, said to stalk and devour any person foolish enough to hunt alone at night. Unlike real wolves who hunt in packs, Amaroks hunt alone.
Did you say it was an Inuit legend?
Yeah. Which this fits the description very well because most of the sightings that I've heard about, a vast majority, the Dogman species is usually a solo hunting creature. There is one story I'm familiar with. It's a very faint memory, but I remember the story where a person was walking along a creek, and there was a pack of 3 that were all watering at this creek, basically. And they didn't attack this person because they were busy doing other things or whatever, but they recognized that person. They like turned and looked at them, but they did not attack. Clearly they were non-threatened because there's 3 giant dog creatures and 1 measly human. That's probably why they didn't attack, because there's no way it's a threatening situation.
Yeah.
But who is to say that Dogman attacks are attacks more so than instinctive defense? We don't really know if they are actively hunting or defending territory.
The thing. Because I feel like any time you head out of your home, you head out of the city or whatever, like, you're not in your own territory anymore. You're infringing on everything else's.
Right.
So, like, as soon as you enter the woods, you're in Dogman zone, or you're in Wahila zone, or you're in Beast of Bray Road zone. And it's like, within the scope of the laws of nature for them to tear your goddamn head apart for being out there. I feel like that's something we gotta respect. If anything, we should, by this point, know to respect the Dogman.
Hashtag respect the Dogman.
Yeah, that's the takeaway here. Hashtag respect the Dogman. There's not much else we can really do about that. That's my respect the Dogman spiel.
Why do you think there's no Dogman bodies?
Because they're that good.
They're that good.
I don't know. See, that's the thing. If we continue doing this show, something we're going to run into is there are, like, no bodies, generally speaking, like, at all. Like, I know there's a Yeti scalp, supposedly.
It's in a monastery in China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So we've got that, but I'm also pretty certain that was faked. Not 100%. We'll get to the Yeti eventually.
Right.
But, like, yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of a Dogman corpse, but you know what I'm going to look up right now?
Dogman corpse?
Yeah. Can you bring up the chat on there so we have it?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Props up to computers.
I don't know why we're not just, like, doing research on the air as we go along. The internet's a wild place. Oh, what's Neo Scavenger? I don't want that. Hey, for the record, I'm about to send your search history into some weird places. Bigfoot corpse or Dogman corpse on YouTube, believe it or not.
Yeah, mute it for now before we can discern the validity.
BS. It's a bear. Look at that paw. That ain't a dog. That's not from a dog. That's a bear.
Okay.
Dave Stumpf, your video is fake.
It's only got 400.
It's a rotting black. See, everyone in the comments knows it's a bear. Okay. Now here's what I think we need to do. Find a cryptid forum site and dive goddamn headfirst into that shit.
Okay.
So
I'm sure there's a pretty extensive subreddit.
Oh fuck, Reddit's perfect.
Right.
Okay, are you on Reddit? I'm not on Reddit.
I have an account. I've never necessarily used it for research purposes before.
Well, we're using it now. That's perfect. That's the hub that we want to get into.
Okay. So
if you guys know of any sites where we can find weird shit like this, we need those links.
Okay, we're on.
We're on Reddit.
Okay. So
we're in the deep end.
I don't know if this is how searching works. Michigan Dogman. I'm looking for any personal encounters or stories related to the Dogman.
Hit it.
What is Dogman?
I saw the Michigan Dogman near Grand Rapids.
This is such a fascinating discovery. IIRC say they completely clear a road and land bound.
Whoa. Okay, so now we have a new Dogman ability. Supposedly, if you didn't hear Pierce, they can clear a road and land in the trees with a single bound, which is very similar to one of Superman's initial superpowers.
They can jump far.
They can jump far.
Which is something that I know about their physical capabilities.
I didn't know it was like that crazy. That's pretty wild.
Their legs are very springery.
That's true, I suppose.
Because they fold backwards compared to human legs.
Yes. My dog, it can jump high.
High, correct.
Now, what?
It's back!
The deep web? Oh, Jesus.
It's back. It's highly demanded. We'll have to see what we can do. Okay, let's see what else we can find on here. A few people I used to hang around as a teenager claim to have seen Michigan Dogman in the Detroit area. I live in NW, Michigan now, Northwestern, and there's a lot of Bigfoot sightings up here.
Oh.
Okay.
Wait, go down. Sounds like someone's going to do short pie. The first YouTube article writers use Reddit as a way to gather answers. It's a shame. I suppose that is sort of the point of Reddit, but it sort of cheapens the quality of the journalism somehow. Even the profession as a whole. Look, as a journalist researching the topic of the Dogman, so you have a point, but like, come on, it's all in fun. Oh, this is a recent post. I mean, fairly recent.
Apparently, posting the link to this live stream in my Destiny chat attracted a wild Patrick Sheneman.
Patrick Sheneman. Oh,
He's here.
Lord. Hello, Patrick. Long time no see, kinda. Alright.
Let's see.
Is there like just like
cryptozoologysociety.com Dogman.
why don't we go to our cryptozoology?
Where was that?
Right there.
Okay, so let's see.
We're in the dark web now.
How, god damn it, how do you use Reddit in any way at all?
I have no idea.
You know what would be really fun?
What?
Let's just show everyone what we're doing. Let's just show everyone what we're doing.
We're getting very meta now.
This is exactly what we are officially to the point where we are browsing for stories here. Excuse me while I slide my head into something. Considering I've already answered that question in physical format.
All right.
Nobody cares about your art. We're here for solid answers.
We're here for the research.
I think we need to go back to the page we were on before. It actually had useful things. This is like controversial.
Oh, what?
Oh, yeah, alright. Okay.
Wait, no, I want to read that.
Okay.
The controversy. There's a post on, or there's a tab on this Reddit page, Our Cryptozoology. It's called Controversial. There is one post here. It was submitted 1 day ago. It is, where can I find real photos, not drawings, of sea dragons? The mythical reptile, not a type of fish. You click that shit, there's 40 comments.
I don't want to, because it's not what we're talking about. It's not what we are talking about.
It just became the most important thing in my life.
Maybe some other time.
Damn it. Okay.
I wanted to go to, what was that website that I wanted to go to?
I don't remember.
DeviantArt, that's not going to help.
Wait, our
Dogmanencounters.net.
Okay.
Oh!
Okay, go back. There's another interesting thing there. I just lost it. Hold up. Cryptid researchers.
Where?
Sighting of the Michigan Dogman. Second post down. Our cryptid researchers. Right there. Booyah. Oh, this looks lame.
Topic on Dogman and Bigfoot. Okay.
We don't want your dumb podcast / live stream.
Yeah,
we hate those.
Anyone can do that.
Anywhere with a computer and some rapidly
lame.
diminishing spare time can do that.
This is just the Reddit of that YouTube channel.
I think so.
Okay, where was that post that I wanted to go to?
I don't know.
These are okay. .net Michigan Encounters. That's broken link. God damn it. Cryptozoologysociety.com/Michigan Dogman.
Man, at what point have we like unturned every stone here?
Never.
I don't know. I feel like we're coming up with nothing but dead ends.
Are you fucking serious?
Oh, we could buy it.
I can buy.
No one buy cryptozoologysociety.com. It is ours. TM. It's ours. Don't touch it. TM.
Why is that on?
Say TM.
TM.
Okay, it's ours. Don't touch it.
Okay, so this isn't
Michigan Dogman hunting.
What? Where?
49 comments.
Michigan Dogman hunting. Okay. All right.
Why don't people use tracking dogs? Because they're in on it.
We are looking to take on Michigan Dogman. I have my own personal theories to be as what it is. I've a group together, and we plan to track it down. Hoax or not, either conclusion I plan to share with my fellow Redditors. On that note, does anyone have any stories to share with me? Experience you've had with Dogman/men encounters. When this was 5 months ago. I wonder if these people are still alive.
What if they're dead? They're probably dead.
What if these people are dead?
These guys, oh my god, they're deceased.
One thing I wonder is why people don't use tracking dogs.
They're in on it.
Supposedly Bigfoots or whatever have a terrible described odor, and this should make it easy for dogs to track. This person is dumb.
They didn't do their research.
No, they didn't, because everyone knows that dogs freak out and run away from Sasquatch and Dogman. Literally freak out and will run, regardless of their master, regardless of how loyal they are. If their master's in danger, they run.
Another point here is I don't think I've ever seen or heard a story about the Dogman where his scent is supposed to be foul or whatever. That's a Bigfoot thing.
The one we just heard earlier about the red eyes glowing.
Fuck, seriously?
Yeah.
Well, that's a southern one. This is Michigan.
I've heard of them smelling pretty terrible.
All right, so maybe they do smell bad. But still, this response is bullshit.
Right, this person clearly knows nothing.
They didn't do their research. Okay, I want to talk about this person, the OP's response here. We don't plan to kill a potentially rare creature. No. I'd want video, not just photographic evidence, hair samples from things it's brushed against. If it's canine, it likely sheds. Saliva samples would also be great. Now see, I like this person because they have a plan. They're going in deep. We would be looking for tracks measuring both distance and stride and depth for weight analysis as well. Track casting would be done. Those would be researched. If it's a hoax, then I'd like to see who's behind it. I like this. What?
Shelby.
Oh, Shelby's coming in clutch. Can you go back up to that first one she left? Shelby says, okay, so going back to how Dogman could be related to Native Americans, in Ojibwe culture, wolves and dogs are considered friendly. Okay, go down. The major shapeshifters are Nana Bozho, who is more a trickster / hero, think good Loki, and the Wendigo, who is a cannibalistic monster who eats sinful humans. Depending on clan traditions, the Wendigo, oh fuck, the Wendigo looks differently. Some saying it can look like a humanoid dog with deer antlers.
Right, I have heard of the Wendigo on multiple accounts.
Me too, I just learned how to pronounce it now.
Really? You didn't know that?
I feel like I did, but I definitely didn't retain it.
Okay, so this information is non-surprising because I've never heard of any Native American myths or legends about them having problems with Dogmen. Usually in the mythology surrounding anything that's kind of what we regard as a cryptid now, they're more commonly living in harmony with the creatures in separated territories. So
yeah, like you don't like I was saying earlier, you don't infringe on their zone. Once you enter a certain point, all bets are off.
Right.
And you're in whatever territory.
Exactly.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay.
So this is insane that we found this. The hunt is still on and relevant.
Yes. Real quick before I forget, thank you, Shelby, so much. If you have anything else, send it our way. Any of you. Any deets. Any deets.
Deets.
Okay. I really am interested in this subreddit. Wow, I never thought I'd say that in my life. The OP says, as for the tracking dog idea, that is an excellent suggestion. Thank you. It will all depend on how much money we can sink into this. This is one of 8 planned cases we hope to solve.
8.
And I do mean solve, not having a reality TV show we can put more time in each case rather than radio production. Who is this person?
Oh no, our camera died.
Are we still on mic?
We're on mic, but I need to fix the camera.
Okay. Do you need the mouse?
Probably since we are using a computer.
Okay. Look, man, I don't know how this shit works. I'm just here to talk about weird stuff. Sorry, folks, we're working on it. I'm just gonna grab the mic here so you can hear my sonorous voice as Pierce fixes the audio the video diligently.
I think this happened last week, right?
No.
I thought our camera died at some point last week.
No, I don't recall that happening, no. Alex's Gaming says that he would join the hunting party. Now, here's the thing. I don't want to die. And this seems like a great way to die. Now, this user on Reddit, Spooky McPants, I'm gonna... Oh my fucking god. Holy fuck.
What?
There was an update 19 days ago. A different subreddit. Holy fuck.
Really?
Yes. We're gonna have to like reach out to Spooky McPants, this person, because like, oh my god, they've done the Lord's work here. Justin Kipp says, now it's a real podcast, loving the read ASMR. That's what I'm here for. All right.
Holy
Jurassic Goji 2018 asks, who's Pierce Brown?
Something I've answered like 20 minutes ago.
We will discuss that on the following episode of Doomsday Bunker with Pierce Brown and Reed Schmitz. Okay, so back to Spooky McPants, because I'm fascinated by this hunt. I'm trying to get the gist of it and also find a way to keep it entertaining for the people that are currently listening and or watching that beautiful frozen image of our faces.
Do you have what you need to read up right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Here,
Can I just...
hit this so that
Cool.
the border goes away. And I'm going to be messing around over here for a minute.
Okay, so they say the downside of this is the area in Michigan most suited to it is over 900 miles of park and forest with a river running across it. So fresh water and food, more likely at home. Oh man. Now we're just full-on podcasters.
Yeah.
Is the camera dead?
Okay, so I don't have enough USB ports on my computer. My, $1,000 computer does not have enough USB ports to have everything plugged in at the same time. So
Okay.
my camera is plugged into a dongle, and the dongle's a piece of shit, and it DC'd. So now the camera is offline until it recognizes that it's plugged into a dongle plugged into the computer.
So it's off indefinitely.
No, not indefinitely. I can fix it
It'll just take a little
once
bit.
it starts to cooperate with me. So continue with your reading.
Okay, so it looks like Reed's in the driver's seat once more. Can you like give me a... Oh, is it back?
It will be.
Okay, can you give me a click over here or something so that way I can... There we go. I gotta keep that up. Oh no.
Hold on.
Nah, it's okay.
Hit 19. Oh god, 7 billion and 1,000.
Sorry, we're still working on technical difficulties.
17. I need 10, 10, 8. Why does it keep doing that? Is this a drop down? These are not good resolutions to be running a camera at. I'm sorry.
I'm really sorry that our... Oh, there we are. We're on screen, bud.
You're right, but in 176 by 144.
I'm really sorry for the ongoing technical difficulties and general unprofessional nature of this, our inaugural, our first episode of Doomsday Bunker.
Why wouldn't it let me... Can I get a backspace in here and then do...
Dude, if we need to go full audio, we might as well.
This is insane. This is blowing my mind.
All right.
Okay, all right. You know what? Fuck this.
Are we going full audio?
We're going full audio.
All right, folks. It looks like you are going to just be hearing us from this point on in the show. And our beautiful artwork created by
Cameron Foster.
the one, the only Cameron Foster. Cam the Man Foster. Man, I wish there was an actual way to read levels on this thing, because I feel like I'm probably blowing out some speakers.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
This is kind of like the general audio region.
Yeah.
We are as loud as OBS will literally record.
Okay.
And I have people tell me that I record things too quietly sometimes. And to those people I say, you don't understand how recording works.
Well, I just want to make sure we're not blowing out any speakers. And also, if you hear any of those like little breaths when I say words that start with P and B, let me know so I won't lean as far into the mic because they drive me up a wall.
It's got this thing. You're good.
I know, but that doesn't only work. Okay. Okay, I'm still looking at this subreddit. So we're full audio now?
We're full audio.
Okay, so I'm going to take the mouse.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm so sorry that we have to go full audio. We'll hopefully by next week we'll have this all sorted out.
I just need a better dongle. Who knows?
All right. Do you want me to man the monitor and you man the chat right now, since it seems like that'd be better than reaching across people?
You know what's fantastic is now that we're not like really Yeah. I'll
Are
do
you sure?
This. I'll do this. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I suppose we can do both because we're each kind of...
Just kind of like stick this
Yep.
in the middle here. Boop. Make sure we literally say everything we do now that there's not a visual representation
Yes.
of what we're doing.
Jurassic Goji 2018 says this series should be called The Cryptid Bunker. Now here's the thing. I don't think we're going to focus on cryptids 100% of the time. I want to do an episode on Number Station. I think we're going to do unexplained phenomena and conspiracy theories and things of that nature too.
It keeps things...
Creepy things.
It keeps things broader, so we don't necessarily have to conform to one thing.
Yeah.
It'll keep things fresh. You won't be hearing the same stuff every
Yes.
week.
No. But for right now, yep, we're hiding from the government and cryptids in our beautiful bunker somewhere in the Arizona desert.
It's somewhere in the Arizona desert.
Okay.
What else have you found on this?
Not much. I haven't been able to look on it.
Think about a tranquilizer gun option. That's interesting. Tranquilizing cryptids.
That's hard.
You don't know how much tranquilizer to use, because too much will be ineffective and too little will be ineffective and too much will kill an animal. So
Yeah.
if they're looking to not kill it, then tranquilizing is not an option.
Let's not kill the first Dogman we find.
Maybe another form of non-lethal suppression, like high voltage taser.
Oh, sorry, but the paleontologist says we should team up with Alex Jones.
Oh god, the frogs are gay!
And the Dogman is too. Sorry, it's canon. The Dogman is gay.
The Dogman is gay.
The Dogman has been gay. The Dogman will always be gay. Sorry. I wanna go. Oh man, I'm so into this whole little trip that they're apparently going on. 5 months ago, let's go through their EQ list, which is, as Spooky McPants says, pretty bare bones. Cameras, digital. I'm hoping we can get some donations so I can wear a chest-mounted GoPro in case we get chased. At least we'll still nab some footage. 2, digital recorder for audio with multi-directional mic. 3, hoping to add in a FLIR for head signature. For now, we have a guy who hunts for food, not sport. He'll be our hired tracker. 4, hoping to add in 2 to 4 hunting dogs as trackers as well. 5, EQ vests, nothing heavy. Ideally, with funding, I'd upgrade these to vests that would at least stop knife slashes. Being clawed is not ideal. 6, see, I'm not even 100% certain if this is real, but my god, like, it's like backpacks, rations, water bottles, maps of the locations we plan to scout, notebook/paper for notes, LED flashlights, a solar lamp. See, that's thinking. They know what they're doing.
This is like camping supplies.
Yeah, but like they're going for the long term, and they're thinking about how to protect themselves from potential attacks.
What is this jam block? Number 8.
I don't know. Let's oh god. Is a heavy leather whip. How do I get back?
Hit F11 in the back. You'll see the back button.
Cool beans. Oh, is it F1 again? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hoping to add in a heavy inflatable raft with donations to travel the river. I have a gut feeling you might even spot them drinking from it or get clues this way. Now, like, more than anything else, I admire their optimism here. The whip, if they specify, the whip isn't for the Dogman as much as hitting things near it to spook it a bit.
Oh, spook the Dogman?
I'm not foolish enough to try tangling with this thing. One, if it's a solid flesh and blood mammal, then it itself has some level of fight or flight instinct. I'm hoping for that. Two, if this is something paranormal, such as an other dimensional being, a thought form, or a servitor issue, those are other concerns. What is this? What? They have this way more locked down than we do. God. This is like a weirdly wholesome Reddit thread about hunting the Dogman. Please keep the forum up to date. Yeah, please. Holy shit. Imperator Supremus says, the argument I keep seeing is that they will smell the dogs and run away. Isn't that just a fact with hunting dogs? Use dogs and maybe at least find some real evidence. And then they reiterate that they're going to try to hire dogs.
Hire dogs.
Hire.
I will
acquire.
I will pay you 17 dog treats to find the Dogman.
You give me pet. I find dog. I find Dogman. We go for a walk.
Boy John 434. It's Jonathan.
Hey. I'm not against any BDSM with the Dogman. Wait, I was. Okay, I've changed my whip. No, I know, but I've changed my tune. If you're gonna breed with a Dogman, you know, like Shape of Water is probably gonna win Best Picture. Obviously, interspecies relationships with humanoids, not like just a dog. Don't fuck dogs. Don't fuck cats.
Don't fuck cats.
Don't fuck cats.
Don't fuck cats.
Fuck the Dogman, I guess, but only consensually. Enthusiastic consent. Leash the dog. Okay, we're getting into weird territory.
This is spiraling out of control. And
okay. Let's get back to this because there is a long post here that we need to talk about.
Okay.
JT Method 125 says, so first off, this sounds awesome. He's right. They're right.
It does.
I live in Michigan, and hearing all the stories of this thing has made me personally want to do what you're doing. Reading everything on this post, I can see you sound pretty down to earth on this subject, which makes me excited to hear about what you'll find. Can't wait to hear about the results from your adventure. So here's a few things I can think of on the subject. Hopefully it helps. 1. This is a living creature. Confirmed.
Can't carry on.
It lives in dense woods and gets around pretty well. What people don't get about dense woods is they are nearly impossible to trek through, especially when hunting for something else. You're gonna make a lot of noise going through that stuff. I highly suggest yearly timing. Vegetation in winter gets less dense and easier to get through. The thing has eluded people in the past, and usually animals that do have the ability to hunker down in the most dense area they can find, so don't be deterred by heavy brush. I love how everyone in this thread is like amazingly practical. 2. Michigan hunters take their hunting traditions seriously. Even if it's just a day of scouting, replenishing food plots, or just walking their property, they know that if you spook an animal that's gotten comfortable on your property, you might not see that animal ever again. So treat this hunt like they do. Scent killers, buy those and use them. Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. Don't go into a hunt saying, oh, here we are, wow, I bet this animal's right out here, sweet, let's go hunting for it. OMG, that's definitely a squatch. I want to slap these people upside their loud, stupid heads. True. Skip a bit. Oh, they recommend not cornering it.
No way.
Don't corner the Dogman.
Don't corner a wild animal.
Just don't do it. 3, I'm seeing some stuff about this being a dimensional creature or something, like existing on a different plane. I'm not sure about how you prepare for something like that. While that stuff makes my head spin, all I can say is try to stay grounded on the subject. You're hunting an animal, it lives in these woods. People have definitely seen it and can vouch for its existence. Look for signs of life while you're out there. Listen for other animals. Look for tracks and find game trails. Everything out there needs to eat, drink, and sleep, and that's what this thing is doing every day. Lastly, just enjoy the experience. Michigan is gorgeous, nature is beautiful. I love this so much.
I'm going to get yelled at if I don't do this. My girlfriend says hello to the chat. Carry on.
I've spent some of the best days of my life so far just sitting in a blind or tree stand watching the sun bring everything to life. God. He says stay safe. Everyone is so nice in this Reddit thread. Oh my gosh. This person says he saw it in Grayling. If you ever played Diablo 2, it resembled the Druids form on there. Okay. Apparently it's an excellent story, so let's read it.
Okay, fantastic. Do you want me to read it?
If you want.
Okay, this is the Stalin Wolf.
Yes. It's Joe's dog.
Okay. Oh, God. Okay. Saw it once when I was maybe 13 at my grandpa's place in Grayling. He cleared out several acres of swamp forest along the Au Sable. I don't know what that is. Au Sable. Okay.
Yeah.
And we used it to have yearly reunions up there. A lot of family members have had their own experiences. For me, I was walking back to my family's camper on a well-lit night when I spotted something crouched beneath some small trees. I stopped and watched for a second, already a little freaked out when, like, crack sound came out of nowhere as it swung its head up and spotted me. I don't know if it made the cracking sound or not. The hair stood up on my neck as it jumped up and swung its body in the opposite direction and tore off at incredible speed, hurling itself over a short rock wall and into the thick pines behind it. I just remember it was very thin and lanky, long limbs, very werewolf-ish. Not like the Wolfman, far more like wolf, but it moved like something else.
The following morning, I couldn't find any signs of prints or anything else, though my great uncle still has a plaster cast he took a couple of decades back from a sand pile that stood at the edge of the property. A huge wolf print as big as your hand. The DNR came out and looked at it and couldn't explain what it was. The print was just too large to be a wild dog or wolf. Listen, this person down thread says, listen to Dogman Encounters Radio.
It's like 180 plus episode hour-long podcast.
Well, I figured, but also Spooky McPants says that they listen to it regularly and that they know they're looking for something bipedal. That's true, but prefers moving along on all fours. I've also heard that. Decent climber and digger. You would expect that from a dog.
Well, of course, especially a large one.
7 feet in height, probably. As most seem very. My ballpark is in 7, a few hundred pounds, probably good. Apparently built like a silverback gorilla in terms of muscle mass. What in the fuck? I'll put it against other cases that claim it's slightly leaner. Its claws are quite long and sharp, okay? God. This person gave coordinates for a Dogman sighting, like GPS coordinates.
.98. Read them to me.
3614, comma, -92.359951. All right.
It's in between 2 lakes.
Huh.
Long Lake and Hayden Lake.
Can you zoom out so I can get perspective on that?
Where are we? Okay.
Oh, we're not. We're in Wisconsin. It looks like.
Yeah.
On the very edge of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And North Dakota.
There's a lot of lakes.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of lakes.
That's buck wild. I buy it though because we're right in the zone we've established, which is
we are
Michigan into Wisconsin and
Ohio.
Ohio.
We are in Dogman territory, so this is fantastic.
God, in this thread they talk about how they've done interviews to get bearings on what they believe to be a migration pattern. He says they plan to open a YouTube channel as well. Oh my God. They say Guns do nothing. Or no, wait, let's read this. Huron559 says, best advice, my friend, is don't do it. Reports gathered have shown how violent and aggressive these cryptids can be, let alone with their speed and strength. Hunters have mentioned how they shoot it numerous times and not even bother. You must have high caliber firearms. And then Spooky McPants, my hero, says, guns do nothing. I'm not bringing them. Would you want something the size of a silverback gorilla angry at you when it realizes you are the reason it's now hurt? Me either. 2. We have some folks who do camping and wilderness trekking. They shall need guns. We're walking into their home, not vice versa. I think many Dogman hunters forget this little fact and earn themselves scars or life-jarring experiences. See? Like, that's it. I plan to treat them with the utmost respect as the dangerous, potentially apex predator. I like that. You go in, you know that you're going into their home looking for them. And that's fucked up. You're an intruder. You're prey at that point. I like that they recognize that. I'd like if this person's faking this shit, I will be crushed because this is like my ideal monster hunter.
It's too elaborate, but here's the thing. These are 4-month-old posts. Is it more recent posts the farther we get down this thread?
This one's from 4 months ago,
right.
So there's a month gap, it looks like. God, they have put... they have a GoFundMe for it. They don't have a link, though, which is weird.
Brilliant.
Oh, man. Okay.
9 days ago.
Wait, where?
We're in there right now. These are with... What the hell? 0.9 days ago. 1.9 days ago. Oh, I don't know what the hell that means. Okay,
no, those posts are from 9 days ago. Not sure if you're still hunting, but I encouraged one or more in the Manistee National Forest earlier this morning by Diamond Lake.
Oh.
That we are. If you don't mind shooting me a PM with your encounter, we'd love to hear it.
Suicide mission, you fool!
Wait, okay. Now, Pierce, as you were saying, is there more recent posts? Yeah, boy. I just lost Dogman Hunters update. There we go.
19 days ago.
Yep, from 19 days ago. So let's get into it. Hi there, folks. I know it's been some time since we checked in. As we never hit our funding goal, our summer planned expedition didn't happen. But in the time, we're using the Michigan winter to regroup and plan more. We've spoken with Vic Cundiff of Dogman Encounters Radio. He was as polite and helpful as he seems, a class act person all around. We've interviewed quite a few folks on their own encounters and like 2 different spots as ground zeros for Dogman homes. We've been updating our equipment list and plan to make a dummy we'll be naming. For his head, we'll have a funding allowing a series of wildlife cameras on his head to capture anything that passes him as he sits and waits. I'll have a multi-directional microphone hooked up as well as other goodies. While we do think we know a few things that might lure a Dogman out into the open, we feel if we do wish to go that route, the dummy is going to be doing the luring, not a live human. Once the dummy is sampled in an area, the ground team will then commence exploration and sample collection, hopefully castings as well. Most reports lead us to believe we'll be seeing the classic Michigan variety Dogman. Muscular, 7 to 8 feet tall, amber eyes. At this time, we lean toward this being a physical being. Most reports we read have it acting like something that does have to interact with its surroundings, suggesting it's a part of them. From folks stumbling upon one drinking in a river to folks seeing one scavenge in the trash. We'll keep you all further updated with pictures, of course, as things develop, but we certainly haven't forgotten our first case. Well, now I'm sad. I wish they would link to the GoFundMe or something.
Yeah, I want to see how many backers they have.
They mentioned Linda Godfrey. Shout out to Linda Godfrey. Hey.
Oh, Kaiju Park says that they need to bring the whip because clearly it's the only weapon against the Wolfman.
True. It's really the only thing you need. Okay. Man, what else can we find that's Spooky McPants?
Yeah, I want this to be like the current thing.
I'm looking at Spooky McPants right now. Their account.
Not much else going
It's nothing that makes me think they're faking it. I send a private message. Should we? Should we send a private message to Spooky McPants asking for info on the Dogman? Please answer us. Holy God, answer. Holy sweet Jeebus answer.
Yeah, it'll take a minute for the chat to respond since it is
I'm just so hyped right now.
behind the times.
I'm so into this. And everything that I say we do it.
Should we?
Like, what do we have to lose? And then if we don't, obviously we probably won't get an answer right now.
Oh.
But, wait. Just saying. But, like, we can still update in future episodes. Looks like they won't.
Well, we could also post in that thread.
Yeah, but I think a private one would be, like, less confrontational, you know? Even though, like, we're doing this on our goddamn live stream right now. Fuck.
Okay.
They were last active 9 days ago.
So yeah, we are encouraged by multiple.
All right, we're doing this.
Send a PM.
Oh boy,
Everybody wants it.
what's the what's our subject line here?
The Michigan Dogman hunt.
The oh boy, I can't type on this keyboard.
Is it too expensive for your taste?
It's way too expensive for me. I'm so poor. Okay, so man, I don't even know where to begin. Hey,
as a
we should introduce ourselves, obviously. Like, it's one account, but we're speaking for the both of us and our currently 11 viewers.
okay, so should we say, hey? No, hello is way more formal.
Yes, but do we want to be formal or keep it cash?
Casually formal. We should start with hello.
Hello?
Hello. We are a group of
Can you give me more than one word at a time?
I'm thinking, okay? This
We
is why
are-
people yell at me in videos, is because I think slowly. We are a group of cryptozoology fans slash
Zoology.
fans slash amateur researchers.
How about amateur cryptozoology researchers?
Amateur cryptozoology investigators.
Oh boy. Oh, that's not
That's
how you spell that at all.
No.
Amateur
Cryptozoology investigators.
Investigators.
From the local region of Michigan.
From let's just say Michigan. From Michigan.
Well, where we originated from. Obviously, we're in.
From
We've
our
had-
home state of Michigan.
Right, our home. There we go.
Whoops. Oh,
Ooer.
that's 2 words.
That's
isn't it?
definitely 2 words.
Pierce Brown.
Who's that?
Fuck off. Okay, you type this. God damn it.
Okay. Well, now you gotta
Switch-
tell me what to type.
Switch seats with me.
Okay, now you have to tell me what to type because it's all getting
No,
all,
we're collaborating.
it's getting all Inception-y. Okay. We are a group of amateur cryptozoology investigators from our home state of Michigan. We have
taken
a large interest in the Dogman legend.
We should probably mention that we run this show at some point.
We run a podcast called DoomsDay
Is it really a podcast?
Bunker and stumbled upon your hunt. Now what? What were we gonna ask?
I want to know the status of the thing. I want to see like the GoFundMe page if possible. And I don't know. Like we're doing
Shit.
I'm not we did an episode. I can't think right now. potentially. This is not even close to a professional message. We'd like to know the status of the investigation. Potentially, and if possible, we would. How about this? We say that we would like to provide the GoFundMe link for viewers and listeners of our show. This is not entertaining, is it? No.
Wow.
Wait, let me take a crack at this.
Okay, yeah, you
with
do.
my English minor credibility.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, your cryptid is. I was gonna say because cryptozoology is not an actual science.
Word.
Well, it's not a recognized science is the thing.
Yes, it is.
It is to us, but
You
like
haters.
to no one else.
Suck it.
We've taken the largest Dogman legend. Oh wait, okay. It should go. We realm has to do this longer. And oh my god, we've taken. Ah!
What are you?
Pierce.
Stop pressing Q.
I.
This is Q.
For the record,
Stop
there
pressing
are
Q.
keys on the goddamn side of his mouse.
Stop pressing Q.
Dude, everything else is gone. I just deleted everything.
Undo. Reddit has a functioning undo button. There's still a Q rug me account.
Oh fuck. Oh fuck, dude.
Undo again.
Oh, there it is.
There's still Q rug me. There's still Q rug me. There's still Q rug me.
Pierce, I swear to God.
What have you done? We can't be Q rugged. What does that even mean?
There we go.
Q. We oh.
We have taken a large. We run a podcast called DoomsDay. Okay, so let's talk about capitalization, because that's important.
Oh, I capitalized Dogman. That's what's important here.
We should probably provide a link to the channel as well.
Nah.
I think we should.
Nah.
Because it would probably make them more comfortable with this.
More or less.
Both? It would be really crazy if once they
asked
sent
for
this,
it.
we were still live streaming and they just clicked and they're like, oh, so they literally did this now. This is happening now. Okay,
No,
so we won't
no,
do that now.
No, nah.
Okay. Taking the largest Dogman legend, we run a podcast called DoomsDay Bunker and stumbled upon your hunt. We would like to know the status of the investigation and potentially, and we would like to know the status of the investigation and, if possible, provide a link to the GoFund. It's all one thing. GoFundMe, I think. Fund me page to our audience.
All 11 of them.
Should I put like our admittedly small audience?
No, that's fine. That's all good.
Okay. Thank you, and best of luck in your hunt.
I am not a robot.
Oh, do we just want to?
That's good. That's a good ending. That's a good ending.
Well, should we give names?
No.
Dude, I think we probably should.
No, it's all good. We gotta leave some mystery. We're talking to Spooky McPants.
Fine.
We're not talking to, like, Timothy Barnes or anything like that.
Look, I just want to make this person feel okay, because this is all weird.
Why? They're talking about Dogman on Reddit.
It's weird on both sides.
They can receive a single message.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's look at this.
Show John's message. That's all good. I don't care. You have to click the. Holy God, Reed.
Hey, Pierce.
Do you know how to use a computer?
Pierce.
Yo.
Fuck you.
Do you even know how to use a computer?
Apparently not.
Okay, let's get caught up here.
And then we get completely silent.
Okay, alright. When you do a first episode and it's voice only, set in a podcast precedent, you're locked in. Well, it's only half voice only because we had a camera malfunction.
We're gonna see how this goes.
Let's see. Go on the hunt. Probably not a good idea.
But I'm also completely supporting Spooky McPants' hunt because they seem exceedingly well prepared.
All of that wait for a cue.
Yeah, you know what? Kaiju Park, I'm sorry. I screwed up, okay?
John, if we're going on the hunt, you're going on the hunt too. You bet your ass. Alright.
Jurassic Goji about to go to bed. Sleep tight. Don't dream of monsters.
Don't dream of monsters.
Or do.
Okay, so yeah, we've done some things tonight.
Yeah, we've done something. Man, I just want to keep refreshing on Reddit and see if they've responded.
It won't. It's not gonna happen.
They were active really recently, though. What if that's them?
It's not, because
What if it was?
It's my welcome to Reddit post from however fucking long.
But what if it was them?
It's not. Okay. I think this is a good place to end.
Okay.
And whenever we get that respond message, we can discuss that in a future episode.
We'll do that later. Okay. Let's I want to talk about what we're doing for the next episode. Let's do it live on the air.
What do we want to do for the next episode?
I want to do number stations so bad.
For the next one?
Yeah.
Okay. We can do that then.
You want to do number stations?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And then we can do whatever your personal experience is.
Okay.
And then we can do whatever my personal experience is.
Okay.
So that gives me at least 3 weeks to mentally prepare myself.
Okay. I'm really curious as to what this is because I've never heard it and you seem genuinely upset by it.
I think John might know. I think I've probably told John my encounter story before.
That's crazy.
But, yeah. It haunts me.
Yeah. We'll talk about that another time.
Yeah.
But we'll do number stations next week, the week after. Are we doing this weekly?
Yeah, weekly.
We're going to try to do it
As long
weekly?
as we can do it weekly, we'll do it weekly.
Okay. So what day do we want to do?
This day again next week?
Tuesday?
Yeah.
Alright. Well, then I guess we'll be back on again Tuesday, 8-ish, 9-ish o'clock. We'll try to be a bit more professional. We'll let you know what the dealio is.
Yeah, we'll try not to have technical difficulties in the middle of the show.
But thank you for bearing with us and for watching / listening to this. John, we're going to try to do this weekly, if not that, every other week.
John, if you have any personal experiences to anything spooky, scary skeletons, you let us know. We'll get you on the air, my man.
I want to do some ASMR shit. I just want to say, I think we should. Something I want to see in future episodes is Pierce, get that shit out of here.
ASMR.
What I want to see in future episodes is more audience, coming in with questions about this stuff. More. If you've got information, send it away. If you got experiences, send it our way. Spread the word about this show. Post it on your weird forums and stuff so we can get some people with some crazy stories coming in. I like the idea of it being a little more audience participation based. But yeah.
Tell your friends about this so we can get more audience in here, because you never know who might have some scary stories that they never told you because they weren't comfortable about it.
Also, we are just desperate for attention. So yeah, that's where we're at. I guess it's number stations next week. If you want to find information on number stations, there's this thing called Google, and or you can wait till next week. So yeah, I guess that's it. We're gonna get out of here before the authorities find us in our bunker in the Arizona desert.
We're gonna have to change our IP address, so we will see you guys next week on Doomsday Bunker with Pierce and Reed.